inspecting the MP5 SD, you can be heard. It sounds strange because we know that when inspecting weapons, the character doesn't make any sounds. However, when inspecting the MP5 SD submachine gun, the radar displays a circle around us that signals a sound, just like when walking or jumping. I was pretty surprised by this and quickly asked my test subject to check if the inspection of this weapon would indeed make a sound. There were no sounds, it's just that Valve can't fix a regular bug that has been present since the CS2 release. Do workshop maps affect FPS? What do I mean? If I delete all the downloaded maps, will my FPS improve? And these are just 2 myths. There are 25 more ahead of you. It's been a while since I released a video like this, so watch till the end. I promise it will be interesting. To the video. One-way smokes don't exist in CS2. In CSGO, you could throw a smoke in such a way that you could see the enemy, but they couldn't see you. This was often used, but with the release of CS2, one-way smokes stopped working because of the new mechanics for those very smokes. And this is true, but only halfway, because there are many smokes that, in my opinion, could be considered one-ways with some imagination. For example, on Mirage, where you are almost invisible. Does your statistics in Premiere mode affect the ELO you get after a win? No, it doesn't affect it. Only your win streak matters. The more consecutive matches you win, the more Premiere points you'll receive for a victory. Can grenades only be thrown under yourself while defusing the bomb? When you start defusing the bomb, you can have a smoke, flashbang, or even a HE grenade. At first glance, it seems that the grenade can only be thrown by pressing the right mouse button, meaning near yourself. But if you press the right mouse button, plus left mouse button, and release the right mouse button, the grenade will fly far. This is a pretty useful trick, like if you didn't know. So, the myth is busted. Can you be heard when picking up a drop? Again, when picking up a weapon, you always hear a sound. If your teammate or enemy picks it up, you'll hear it too. But if they do it while holding shift, there won't be any sound. It only plays when you're walking without shift. So feel free to pick up weapons whenever you want. Of course, if you have a free slot. Is it impossible to turn 180 degrees while defusing the bomb? When you start defusing the bomb, you can't turn 180 degrees because the defuse stops immediately. But no, everything is possible. Just lower your head, and you can do a full 360 degrees. The defuse will continue, and the myth is busted. Is it impossible to see your weapon through the map's textures? There are many places where, while waiting for an enemy, I wondered, can my weapon be seen through textures? I checked, and the answer isn't straightforward. For example, through a thin board on Mirage, you can't see your weapon at all. But if you take the vent on Nuke, the barrel of your gun can easily be seen. So the myth is busted. There may be cases when an enemy can see you through textures. Be careful. If you're burning, your scope shakes. I throw a Molotov under myself. As you can see, it's true. But will this affect accuracy? Let's do a little experiment. Since when describing the God command, I have a red cross on the entire screen. Alright, these are just regular shots. Let's add some fire. And as we can see, there's a little chaotic bullet deviation. Overall, yes, the Molotov shakes our screen. The accuracy of the rifle worsens when we're on fire. We talked about the AWP, but what about spraying with the M4A4? Here's the regular spray, and here's the spray in the fire. As you can see, there's almost no difference. So the myth is debunked. Bigger holes in the smoke without a silencer. If you remove the silencer, will the shot disperse the smoke better? Well, this does make some sense. I take the M4 and start shooting through the smoke. This is the result. I remove the silencer, there's no difference. Crouch jumping makes you jump higher. I input the command that displays the jump parameters. This is the jump height. As we can see, without CTRL, it's about 55 units, and with CTRL, it's around 64. Even visually, this difference is noticeable. But, by the way, I didn't know that when you jump while crouching, this is not reflected in the third-person view. Valve couldn't make a proper animation. It's impossible to kill 5 players with 1 bullet. I line up 5 players and we'll check it now. I aim so the bullet goes through each head. And as you can see, all 5 are down. The same result with a helmet, but this is only for the AWP. For example, the SSG won't be able to do this. Maximum 4 kills. So yes, killing 5 players with 1 shot is possible. You'll always kill an enemy with 3 knife hits. As you know, this is the fastest way to kill a player with a knife. 2 left clicks and 1 right click. But this is a myth. If the first hit misses, you won't be able to kill with 3 hits, as the first hit does the most damage. So there are times when you can't knife an enemy, and you might wonder, how is this possible? The answer is the game mechanics. The bomb explosion depends on radius, not obstacles between you. Yes, even if there are 100 walls between you and the bomb, it will still kill you. Don't believe me? If I tell you that you can die on banana when the bomb is planted on Site A? Yes, I'm surprised too. Moreover, you can die on short if the bomb is planted on the B site. I'm sure you've had those unexpected situations where you blew up, especially familiar to players on Nuke. Can a chicken block you from a flashbang and heat grenade? As far as I know, this definitely worked in CS.go, but does it work in CS too? For that, we need a chicken. I spawn a chicken, but something doesn't feel right. Oh, now it's fine. I tried several times, and as you can see, nothing happens. I decided to spawn even more chickens. Still nothing. I'm blinded, as I should be. And don't even get me started on the HE grenade. Do workshop maps affect FPS? What do I mean? If I delete all the downloaded maps, will my FPS improve? I'm running in different conditions, before I deleted the maps and after. Oh wait, there are chickens I spawned earlier. On the left, you can see the stats before deleting the maps, and on the right, after. Can a player standing behind a door block it? In CSGO, it was possible. If an enemy was standing behind a door, it could only open towards you. I place a bot. No, now this doesn't work. A player can't block the door, although there used to be a way in CS2 where the door would open towards the player if there was smoke. When the player would get knocked back, like a ragdoll, but the door would stay blocked. But now, as you can see, the developers fixed that. Can Zeus break doors? In my first video, I checked this myth. The myth was that melee weapons, specifically the Zeus, couldn't break doors. Myth debunked. So it used to be possible, but now it's not. You can't break doors with the Zeus shot anymore. You can't kill an enemy with Zeus if there's glass between you. Logically, the terrorist should survive if there's an obstacle between him and the electric shock. I check it, and yes, no matter how much I shoot, he remains alive. Can you survive after being hit by Zeus? In CSGO, there were cases where players survived after being hit by Zeus, so I check it. I shoot from maximum distance at the leg, right at the little toe, but the terrorist dies. So the myth is busted. It's impossible to survive after Zeus. Does Zeus damage go through even if the bullet doesn't touch the player's model? And surprisingly, it's true. Look for yourself. Where logically, there shouldn't be any damage, it still goes through. When you're moving, your bullets have huge spread. This is true, I run. Bullets go everywhere. But with shift, the spread is significantly smaller, so this myth is partially, but not completely, false. Your shadow is not visible in the smoke. I've often wondered about this. Now I have a chance to check it. As you can see, the player is not visible in the smoke if he is completely covered by it. You can comfortably stand and camp. Nobody will notice you. Conclusion. So, how did you like the video? I tried my best. If you found it interesting and watched until this point, that means I succeeded. So be sure to subscribe and like, I'll be very grateful. We'll see each other soon.